So good evening, everybody. We are super excited to have you joining us here this evening. And we would love for you to participate with us and to share with us. Tonight, I've got Kyle Williams from Edit Microsystems, and he's going to share with us. And Andrea's here just as a support. Andrea is also a speech therapist at Edit Micro. And so we're going to be sharing with you about how you can actually be using different technologies where you are engaging in terms of if you've got low vision or have real vision impairments. So that's what we're going to chat about. So Kyle, please talk to us about how your journey began. And this was difficult for you. Tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Good evening, Karen, and to the rest of, I should say, South Africa. Thank you so much for joining me in the windy city of Cape Town. It's a real pleasure to be with you guys this evening. My name is Kyle Williams. As Karen has mentioned, I work for Edit Microsystems as a blind and low vision assistive technology specialist. I've been in the field for the past 7 years. Prior to this, I have been a fully sighted individual. I lost my eyesight at the age of 13 due to Micro Prolactinoma. And that is a tumor that I've got under my brain on my pituitary gland. That is then pushed up against my optic nerve muscles, causing my permanent low vision. As a visually impaired person, I always thought that it's going to be my destiny sitting behind a switchboard answering phone calls. Not that I've got anything against those people, but I did not want that to be my destiny. I wanted to continue reaching for the stars, which I feel I've done to date. I'm a successful person working for Edit Microsystems, paying tax, a contributing citizen towards society. The more tax we can pay, the less tax eventually we will have to pay. Thank you so much for having me. Welcome to everybody joining us, and I hope that the session will be extremely fruitful to everybody.
So Kyle, tell us a bit about your move from a conventional school to the school for the blind. How was that adaptation for you?
It was difficult. In the beginning, when I lost my eyesight, I did not want to see myself as somebody with a visual impairment / disability. I continue wanting to see myself as a normal, able-bodied person. There's nothing different about me. I'm just differently abled. When switching schools, it was a major adjustment because I'm now no longer amongst all these individuals that can see, run on a playground, play soccer, but those blind learners completely astounded me. We ran on the playground, we played soccer. We played hide and seek, as visually impaired as we were. We played hide and seek. By walking into the school grounds, the learners themselves and the staff at the school, they made me feel welcome, and that assisted me in becoming comfortable with myself as somebody with a visual impairment.
That's incredible. If you had to give somebody who's perhaps in a similar situation, or parents whose children might be in a similar situation and are having to change schools like you did, what tip or idea would you give them?
Live your life to the fullest. Don't stop striving to reach for the stars. We are all destined to be whatever we want to be. Don't let anybody tell you, you cannot do this. You can do it. We can do it. We might do it or take a little bit longer to do it, but we can do it. And at the end of the day, you know what, Karen? We might do it 10 times better than our sighted peers.
Fantastic. Oh, Kyle, this is so exciting what you're sharing with us. if you now want to start showing us some of the technologies or talking about technologies, that would be cool. So which is your favorite technology that you use at the moment?
So me, funny enough, because I have the love of both worlds, even though I am low vision, I have the ability to read Braille as well. I've learned Braille in about 3 months. It took me 3 months to learn Braille. That was both contracted and uncontracted Braille, English and Afrikaans. Not difficult at all.
Wow. So I just want to ask an explanation. What is contracted or uncontracted? Explain what that means.
It's like, in simple terms, your mixed language. So, for example, if you type the word knowledge in Braille, it will only be the letter K, and that we will know as the word knowledge. If I want to type the word immediate, I just type IMM, and I know it's immediate. If I want to change it to immediately, I add the L and the Y at the end. So then when reading, it makes my reading faster. At the end of the day, Braille is bulky. So if you type uncontracted Braille, that is letter for letter, you're going to sit with tons and tons of pieces of paper. I think we're going to all need our personal chauffeurs taking us to school every day with the amount of books we need to travel with. So, I mean, contracted Braille makes it so much easier, and it makes your reading faster. It makes you more productive.
Ah, so you learned both.
I've learned both. That's correct. And I have the ability to read using magnification. That is why the people can see a little boy on their second screen that they can see. They see me and they see another boy. Don't worry, that's not my son. That's just a piece of paper that I have placed at the bottom of a magnifier.
So thank you. So now do you want to tell us about some of the technologies that you're going to share with us tonight?
I would love to do so, Karen. Just for the people that can see something up in front of me, this is actually a hover cam, which is a document camera. The document camera, for the people that can see, is picking up any image, which is what you've got on the screen over there, and displaying it onto your laptops or cell phones, whichever electronic devices you are using. Generally, I do not have the magnifier placed this far away from me. It's about 2 rulers length away from me, but that is purely so that you can have a good image on your device. So the device I'm going to show you this evening, or one of them, is called the Reveal 16i. I, because the device is more intelligent. And it does not mean it's called the Reveal 16. It's going to reveal 16 new things to you. It may have more than that. In front of the Reveal, we have the control panel. And the device has been designed to be as simple as possible, with 3 different cameras, taking you not to the Stone Age, but into the future. Currently, I have a hard-copied document at the bottom of the camera. So everybody can see that's a hard copy document. When placing the document at the bottom of the camera, I would then be able to view the information in an enlarged font. I have the ability to switch to different pages. When switching to different pages, I also have the ability to change into different contrast modes. This device has 22 different contrast modes. So depending on what visual impairment you are actually working with, whether it may be at school or whether it may be in an employment environment, you have the ability to switch to any contrast mode which the user is comfortable with. I have the ability to zoom up into 34 times. So when zooming into information, you will notice on your end, the information does not pixelate. And pixelate means the edges becomes all fuzzy. With this one, it keeps those edges as crisp and clear as possible because of its diamond edge technology. If I turn the camera all the way down, or if I become disorientated at any time when reading, I have the ability to hold my magnification button in. What the device then does is a spot zoom. So it allows me to orientate myself, let the button go, and it goes back to the magnification I've just used a couple of minutes ago, or a couple of seconds ago at least. because there's absolutely no susceptible delay in using the device. In front of the device, if we do lose any focus, we have the ability to lock the focus. And when locking the focus, if moving a document, the device does not lose focus. A learner can lock focus, and he can or she can take a pen or pencil and write with a pen or pencil at the bottom of the camera. So there you can see my pen. Okay, that is quite large. So this is not actually a pen, it's a stylus, but a learner will be able to write information at the bottom of the camera and not lose focus at all. The better your image quality, the better the experience is going to be when using a low vision assistive device. When tapping on my switch button, yes.
So if you look, how small can the text be that you can enlarge?
Okay, not a problem. So I'll show you the text. So this is the text that I was reading. I don't know if you can actually see that. But this is extremely small. I'm unable to see that with the naked eye. I need to use some sort of assistive device. I think this is on font, maybe font 15, and I still find it to be too small for me. So what I've done now is I've put the device into Prodigy mode. And what Prodigy mode does is 14. You guys can hear that speech. It's got built-in OCR. If my eyes become tired, it actually reads for me. But it does not just read for me. It has additional features. It's going to reveal 16 new features. So it becomes completely touch.
Books. Calculator.
So currently we have the calculator.
Books. Camera.
I will work with the camera first. When tapping on the camera,
mode, capture.
It enters a capture mode. And what the capture mode will allow me to do is capture documents. When capturing documents, it applies OCR. And OCR is optical character recognition. It does not just apply optical character recognition, it also applies diamond edge. Now, diamond edge, like I've previously said, is what keeps these edges so crisp and clear. So there we have quite large font. If my eyes become tired, I can tap on the pause/play button and it's reading for me.
Library in the palm of your hand. Fit your own Braille library in the palm of your hand. Braille One stores over 2,000 books and boasts 16 GB of internal storage. Braille One is designed to combat Braille illiteracy and...
So that is just a piece of information on the Braille One, which is one of our newest products we've just launched.
View page.
So I'll go
back. Full page.
I will then tap on the save button.
Settings menu.
Oops.
12 closing menu. View settings menu. Closing menu. View full page. Mode capture. Main carousel.
So after saving any information, it will then save into the internal gallery. And in the internal gallery, you have different folders once again. So currently what I have saved for you guys is our digital catalog. In our digital catalog, you actually have the ability to bounce to different pages. Oops, apologies for that.
That's incredible.
Yes, so I'll go. Which page do I want to go to?
Oh, clever.
I will go to page 22. So why is it not going there? Okay. And I have the ability to slide through the different pages. Now this document that we've got saved here is an actual PDF. When opening up a PDF, I can once again zoom into information. I can tap on, not that button, go back. I can tap on the pen and I can annotate. That allows learners to answer their exam papers directly on the machine. That exam paper can then be shared with their teachers. And how do we want to share that with their teachers? If we go back, if I hold my finger on the document, I can then share it. As which format do I want to share it at? I can then share it as a PDF. And depending on the applications I have installed on the machine, I will be able to share that way. But let me get out of there because I want to leave you in suspense.
This is really incredible.
Thank you so much. And I mean, this is something that I use on a daily basis at the office. It stands on my desk. And I mean, this is what I use to be productive. Without tools like these, I don't think I would have been able to be productive. It does also support books. Now, these are not going to be your PDFs and that. So if you are a member of any online book service, meaning Bookshare, you'll be able to log into your Bookshare account on this machine. Currently, I'm waiting for my login details for my Bookshare account, so I'm unable to show you guys that now. I do apologize. We've then got your calculator. Now, many people will think this is going to be your normal calculator, but it can also be used as a scientific calculator.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I've just changed the mode to scientific. If I hit my back button, I can press the switch key, and you'll see there we've got our scientific functions. Anything that's
incredible.
Yes. Anything you touch,
numbers.
So I'll go to numbers.
4, 5, 6, minus logarithm left parenthesis 456.
It reads all the information to you. So if there's anything that you struggle to read or see on the device, it does have that additional feature of voice, not leaving you stranded at any time.
Main carousel. Quick access.
If we go
Calculator.
to
quick access.
Let me leave you
Calculate,
in suspense there for a moment.
Gallery, settings.
I will go to settings.
Settings
and
menu.
in settings, you'll be able to
items.
personalize all
System.
the things of the device.
Closing menu.
But if we
Main
go
carousel.
to help. Now, help is one of the new features that has been added to the latest release of software. If we tap on help, it takes
menu.
you to YouTube.
2 items. YouTube
now,
tutorials.
what the device does
Submenu.
is it brings back any videos pertaining to this device. So if there's anything else you want to learn, or if there's anything you want to know, we are not telling our clients, don't contact us. We are there to support you all the way. It's just for your own personal reference. Okay, so I've just gone into Reveal 16 there. Just go back.
Main carousel.
So you're now on YouTube, is that right?
Yes, I'm going to go onto YouTube now. So I'll go into the Reveal 16i because that is what we are working with at the moment. So there we've got a video, and this is all on YouTube. And there, just busy loading, and there we can watch videos on it.
Hello, my name is Eric Walstra. I am the product manager here at Humanware for low vision devices. In today's little tutorial, we'll see how to operate the
clever.
Reveal 16i.
I was just connecting it to the internet at the office, or not at the office, making sure that I'm logged into YouTube and everything at the office. And my colleague says, "Kyle, is that the client?" He thought it was a client standing next to me, when in actual fact it was the Reveal speakers. He was completely astounded by the quality of the speakers that is built into the Reveal 16i. I mean, you do get amazing quality with the device in terms of sound, image as well. So what we've got over here is we've got quick access. So I will open up quick access for us. So now you can see we've got Chrome, we've got Google Drive, we've got Gmail, we've got the Play Store, we've got YouTube, we've got downloads. That's the last one in that list of applications. But why are we seeing these applications? It's not just a desktop magnifier. It is a fully fledged Android tablet, giving learners and professional people access to the world. I take 4 fingers and I hold it down on the screen. It enters Android mode. When entering Android mode, I have access to all my conventional applications like I would on my Samsung Galaxy or my Huawei's or LG's. I have access to all that information. If I go to Chrome...
So, Kyle, can I ask you a question? So does that mean if children or the school is using Google as their operating system, would it link to Google Classroom for the children as well?
100%, because the device is Google certified. It's an Android tablet. Anything you do on your cell phone, anything you do on your Samsung, your LG, any Android operating system device, you can do on this machine as well. The only difference is it's a desktop magnifier.
That's incredible.
Currently, I'm connected to the internet, and I have one of my most favorite products open, which you guys can see, which is called eSight. That is one of our other amazing products which I use on a daily basis, allowing me to see things differently. It is a pair of electronic glasses, which I wear and I can see. What I can do is, if I feel this is still too small for me, I can tap with one finger 3 times. 1, 2, oops. I tap with one finger 3 times, and now I can see the information much bigger. I can pinch inwards to make it smaller, or I can pinch outwards to make it bigger, depending on what I am comfortable with as a visually impaired user. If I tap with one finger 3 times again, it makes it smaller. I can then select information. After selecting information, I can go back into Prodigy mode. Now, when I am in Prodigy mode, I will go back to Gallery. If I tap on Gallery, I swipe to the right, and I see there's Notes, and there's Text. I'll tap on Text, and I have the paste option. I don't know if anybody actually took note of what was on the screen when we were in Android mode. I will remind you again. I'll open up Chrome. Remember, that's the information you're seeing there. I selected it, I copied it a few seconds ago. If I go back into Prodigy, I'll go to Gallery, I'll go to Text, and I will paste. Everything that I just saw on the internet, I now have on my Reveal 16i in an enlarged format, so I can read it now with Diamond Edge technology. Something I took from Android and I put it into a totally different piece of software. And there it's reading for me.
Increase text, decrease text, grayscale, high contrast, negative contrast, light background, links, underline, readable, font reset, we're growing. A site opens its first U.S. office in Nashville, Tennessee. Learn more greater than. Toggle menu, life-changing device for people with low vision, clinically valid.
And I have the ability. Yes.
So would you say these tools don't just have to be at school? They could be used by people within their homes as scholars or as adults?
That is 100% correct, Karen, because this is not just a desktop magnifier. Many people will think desktop magnifier, that's where it needs to live on top of a desk. There's different types of desktop magnifiers. You get ones, yes, fair enough, they need to live on top of a desk because they are too heavy and they're bulky, you cannot carry them easily around. You do not, as a visually impaired person, want to carry something that is not completely protected because you could not. Whereas with the Reveal, it is transportable, meaning this screen folds completely flat and the device looked like a snap which press at the end of the day. I mean, I was at a conference. took the device out, and the guys said, "Oh, we're going to make sandwiches." No, it's not a sandwich press. It is a digital magnifier. So I mean, it folds completely flat. It does also have a built-in battery, so you can, as a learner, use it for up to 4.5 to 5 hours on a single charge. It's got a built-in battery for you as well. It's got the front-facing camera, just in case you want to participate within our new norm, which is our online classrooms, Zoom, Google Meet, and all of that. It does have a front-facing camera to participate as a learner in that.
That's really incredible. I just want to say that your phone, we lost it just now. I don't know how easy it is for you to reconnect your phone so we can actually see you from like a people point of view, not just your hands on the machine. So I don't know if you want to connect it again.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I want to ask Andrea. Andrea, in terms of watching Kyle work at work, what is it like watching people using the technologies?
It's great seeing him use the technologies. I actually wanted to ask Kyle to share the story of when he used this device to watch whales from the view at our old office. So our old office had an ocean view, and we could always see whales, on the horizon, and then Kyle could use this device to zoom into the whales and whale watch with us, which is amazing to see. Yeah, and I mean, he has it on his desk 24/7, and that's how he sees when people are coming around the corner or a new guest are entering. And that's how he spies on us. Because it has a camera that flips to the back as well, so that it's not just the view on the page. Yeah,
that's incredible. So, Kyle, you'll have to tell us, what was it like being able to zoom in and see the whales?
Amazing. So it was amazing. I mean, to be able to see a whale, breaching the ocean, slapping its tail on the water, watching the seawater actually sparkles. I never knew it. I never knew that the water actually sparkles when the sun shines on it. And I could see two guys actually in a rubber ducky. They must have been some type of nature conservationists or something, because they were actually following those whales, and it was amazing. I mean, to be able to see that, it definitely brings a tear to the eye of somebody that is visually impaired to now see something you could not see for the past 13, 14 years.
That's really incredible. Rishta has just come on, and they've said they'd love to hear your personal journey about completing school successfully. We didn't talk about that earlier. We spoke about you going to school and what it was like. So do you want to tell us about finishing school and your journey from there?
Well, when I was in school, I will be very honest, I did not have the ability to have access to the type of technology I'm working with today on a daily basis. I used the old Perkins style Braille, which I've used to write my matric exams. Not a very reliable machine. I mean, having a machine break 3 times during one sitting, not a joke. Having to wait for a new one come and so it was a mess. But at the end of the day, it was my mission and personal goal to become successful in life. I do not want to depend on people. I want people to depend on me.
That is so beautiful. How did you get involved with Edit Micro?
I've gotten involved with a company about 7 years ago. Edit Micro started a e-Braille project. And with the e-Braille project, it's where we introduced technology into the schools for learners with visual impairments. One school specifically being Athlone School for the Blind. Same school I've attended.
Yes.
We implemented technology, started a project, and we trained the teachers. It was a total failure. We then went back to the drawing board.
Why do you think it was a failure?
Because teachers do not have time. They may not grasp the technology the way learners does. Learners have a completely different view on technology than what our old teachers does. My apologies, teachers.
Okay.
We went back to the drawing board. Thought, what are we doing wrong? We went back to the school, and instead of training the teachers, that time it was only Gerard at the company.
Okay.
Went back and they decided we need to train the learners. That is where I came on board. I was appointed by Microsystems as an intern to go and train the school for 3 months, not the school, at least the learners, to train them up for 3 months on how to use the technology to make sure that it is successfully implemented. 4 years later, I was still at the school. Learners were breaking my door down just for lessons, just wanting to know, how do we do this? How do we do that? Because they were hungry to learn. Our teachers' tummies were already fully eaten, so they did not want to learn anymore. So our learners were hungry to learn. We taught them how to use the technology. 4 years later, I was still at the school. I now support the school.
That's incredible.
Yes, I now support the school on a remote basis. So remotely, I would call the school from the office, email support, telephonic support, not just for our Athlone School for the Blind. We do that for the rest of our 22 schools. After-sales support is very important, and the initial support of making sure they know how to use the equipment when it is being implemented into the school.
That's really, really a wonderful story. And to know that you're now assisting all the blind schools in the country, that's really meaningful in terms of the impact you're having on children's lives.
Yes.
So what other technology do you want to share with us?
What I want to share with you is, you must just tell me if the camera's view is okay. So the camera that's in front of me, I'm going to flip that down so that we can see it on the table. So what we've got here, I hope you guys can see that clearly.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, that's a good angle.
So what we've got over here is the BrailleNote Touch Plus. Now, even though many people, or myself, I like telling people, it is a Google Android certified tablet with your refreshable Braille. So on the Braille, I can read contacts. There we've got email, there we've got internet, and then we've got your Play Store, there we've got your word processor. So instead of using the old conventional way of rolling paper in a Braille, this one has a word processor built into it. Everything is electronic. I read it on the Braille display. Now, the one thing of the BrailleNote Touch that stands out, it is outstandingly good with mathematics. It's amazing with maths. You can do your algebra, your y to the power of 2 times x equals, don't know what this new math is that the kids are doing, but all that you would be able to do on the BrailleNote Touch Plus. At the bottom of the keyboard, which I've just shown you, we've got your physical. Just check. We've got a screen, and the screen is there for your teacher to give learners instant support. So if a learner, that's speech on. So there we've got speech. It's got built-in speech. So there we've got your visual display. I'm not sure, is the screen on?
No, the screen is not showing at the moment.
Okay, so its visual display is off. I'm not sure why it's not going on. But what essentially will happen is you would be able to see what is on the Braille on the screen at least. If I go to the word processor, I've got the edit box now, so I can now start typing. So I can either type directly on the screen, or I can flip the keyboard down and I can type. Good evening. Okay, I can go down, I can say and now I'm doing contracted Braille. Okay, so I now wrote on the Braille display, good evening, my name is Kyle Williams.
That's really incredible.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And it's a really a small device to move around as well.
Yes, it's very small, lightweight. It's less. If I pick it up, it weighs. I'm going to gather it less weighs than a kilo, which is extremely light. You'd be able to carry it with a shoulder strap. You'd be able to carry it with you wherever you go. If you do contracted and uncontracted Braille on the device, it supports all our local South African languages, not just this one, but our Braille 1/Safari does also support all our local South African languages. If you're using any of the major screen readers, such as Dolphin, Supernova, you'd be able to connect this to your computer. Everything that's on the screen of your computer, you now read on this Braille display. At the back of the device, we've got cameras, and those cameras will allow us to capture information on a hard-copied text document and read it in mere seconds. Once again, on the Braille display. It gives you access to your internet, your emails, your word processor. If there's something that the teacher, for example, says does not work, go and find it in Play Store. If you have your PDF books, you'd be able to load them directly onto this machine. A learner will type in Braille, but when he hands the work back to a teacher, it is handed back to a teacher in a Microsoft Word format, so the teacher can read it with her eyes. Where does any document start? It starts in Microsoft Word. The teacher don't have to go and emboss that using your View Plus Columbias or your Index Braille box embossers. You'd be able to take that hard copy or electronic file, plug your USB into the back of the machine, or you could use your removable SD card, which I will show you there. So there we've got a removable SD card which you can plug into the device, and you'd be able to open up that document instantly on this machine. Many times when people communicate with me via WhatsApp, I would have a machine like this, a Braille display, preferably the Braille Safari, connected to my cell phone. I would communicate, type my information in Braille, you read it with your eyes. You send me a normal text message, but I read it at the end of the day in Braille.
So would you say that families would need both of these devices you've shown to us this evening, or do you think children would only need one of them for school?
Only one of them. If you are low vision, you'd go for something like the Prodigy Connect 12. So it is exactly the same functions and features you saw on the Reveal 16, but that one is as small or as flat as a laptop, which makes it easier for learners to move from class to class. That is for our low vision learners. If you want an all-in-one solution for our learners that are completely blind, you can use the BrailleNote Touch Plus. That provides you all the features you need. There will be no additional item that is needed. The Safari also would work lovely. However, it would need to connect to something.
Like what? Connect to another computer or a phone?
To a computer or a cell phone. You need to connect it to something. It does have a built-in editor, and that editor will allow you as a learner to take down notes. It has onboard translation, which will transcribe any contracted document for a teacher. It supports all our local South African languages, which you will not find in any other refreshable Braille display.
That's incredible. So is Braille different for the languages in terms of the keys you use, or do the keys stay similar in terms of language?
The keys are exactly the same. So Braille is made up of a combination of keys. So for example, if I do that, okay, so we have 6 dots. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No matter what language you are writing, whether it may be English, Afrikaans, Zulu, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Sepedi, any language is made up of these 6 dots. So that is A.
Okay.
And A in Braille, the A will always remain an A. That's a B. That's a C. D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Kyle, you make it seem way easier than I think it actually is. You're like, it's just this, it's just the alphabet, it's easy.
And then Carl, so is it different for the contracted? Is that
Yes.
then different
So
for the languages?
That's correct. So that is where the change come in. So for example, just one example, Braille is made up of 6 dots. We have dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The contraction will be 2, 3, 4, 6. If I just press those keys together, it basically spells the word the, T-H-E. But in Afrikaans, if I press 2, 3, 4, 6, it will be the word D, D-I-E. In English, it will not work for the word die.
That is incredible that if you can do English and Afrikaans, that is so much more remembering than just conventional languages and letters.
Yes, yes.
From a visual point of view.
I had to be determined to do it because I was not going to learn Braille the following year again. I was determined to finish my schooling as quick as possible. Really believe me, I miss my schooling today. But when I was pulled out of my grade 11 class, it was either I had to do Braille the following year again. I did not want to do that. I had to repeat my grade 11 because I wanted to learn Braille. I then completed my grade 11 in Braille. I matriculated doing Braille after only learning it for 3 months. Up until today.
It's really, really impressive.
Up until today, I'm still reading and writing Braille.
Kyle,
that's really impressive. So,
yes, Andrea.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I think your phone view
has
out again.
Yeah, we've lost it. So we're going to start finishing off now. So Andrea, perhaps while Carl's switching his phone back on and we can see him to finish off, perhaps you want to talk to your thoughts around what tips would you give from as an outsider looking in with the way you've seen your team using these technologies. What would you say you would give a tip to a parent or family around these technologies?
Yeah, so what I've learned through working with persons with different abilities and having to make use of assistive technology to cope in their daily lives, I've realized that teamwork really makes it work. Teamwork makes the dream work. If you can have the whole family involved and on board with planning and implementing the devices, it really makes such a big difference. So often people think, the child uses this device at school, so it's the teacher's responsibility to show the child how to use it. But it's as much the child's responsibility as it is the teacher's responsibility, as it is the caregiver's responsibility, as it is the therapist working with that individual, or child or adult, it doesn't matter. I think my biggest take-home message is just that you need to get everybody on board and involved. And technology can sometimes be daunting, especially for the older generations, like Kyle has mentioned. But I've learned that it's very seldom that you can actually delete and wipe everything off of something. You have to try really hard to mess it up. So I would also just say, just go for it, play around with it. If you accidentally delete something, there will be somebody that could help you to get it back. So that's how you learn, is you play around and you go for it.
Oh, thank you. Those are really wise words in terms of saying get the whole family involved. I think that's really important. Kyle, as we finish off this evening, what would your final thoughts be or say to people in terms of your experiences with difficult technologies or initial technologies you had which didn't work so well compared to what you've got now? What are general tips and things you would give to families?
So it's not.
Oops, sorry, Kyle. Do you mind starting again? Your sound just cut out.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. So I generally tell people, now don't misunderstand me, to those that are listening. It's not me wanting to be funny. It's not me wanting to paint a picture that is not realistic. It's just a picture that I am painting. If I had the opportunity of using this type of technology when I was on school, I am 100% certain I probably would have been a heart surgeon today, as blind as I am. That's not, like I say again, it's not me wanting to be silly. It's just a picture I'm painting, because with technology, the opportunities are endless. The doors that are opening are endless. There's now nothing we cannot do. Instead of us as people with visual impairments, instead of us now being reactive, we can be proactive.
So, Kyle, that is just such a beautiful message to leave with everybody. I really want to say thank you for the way you've demonstrated this evening, and also shown how you can use the technology even though you can't see, that your phone didn't connect and you happily connected it again. Your comfort with the technology was a pleasure to watch, and showing us how the tools work. So really, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I hope in the future we can learn more from you and how you are actually using the technology. I'd love to know more about the stories and the students that you've worked with. And perhaps in the future, we can even get one of those students on that we can share with you and the student, and it's improved their lives. Andrea, thank you for your time this evening as well. So if you sort of have 30 seconds to say final words, and then we can say goodnight to everybody. Andrea, if you want to go, and then Kyle after that.
Oh, I've never been good at 30 seconds, Karen. I think I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. It's great that we have this platform where we can show other people what we are doing and encourage other people to, see what is out there and explore a little bit more. Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle, and to you.
I don't want to bore anybody with anything else I want to say, but to anybody that's watching us right now, I know you guys are probably not going to do it, but please close your eyes for me. Don't worry, I'm not going to say a prayer, but just as quick as you've closed your eyes right now, that is how quick you can lose your eyesight. I know it happened to me in an instant. So please take care of your eyes.
Oh, what wonderful words. I really do thank you to you both for your time and for sharing and for just teaching us so much about these tools this evening. So thank you very much. Take care. Thanks everyone
Thanks,
for your
Karen.
time, for watching. Bye.